Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Van Orn and this is another Dragonheir Silence God video. In today's video we're going to take on the first one of the bosses that I'm going to release a guide on this channel. It's going to be the Ice Blast one, the one that takes more damage from ice. You can obviously use the normal Frost Steam, but Ice Blast is particularly efficient against this boss. But before we jump into that video, I just want to do a little promises to this video. Yesterday I was supposed to release a video about my dice pool for the event because I pull 40 dice, and usually when you kick off these events you do so, and I've recorded the entire video. When I was going to edit it, I basically found out that I forgot to turn on the mic, so it's all on mute and I can't really show it to you. So let me show you the results in this video. I'm gonna put it up here. Basically I got a dupe Nissa, and therefore I can pull another legendary artifact, and I want to involve you guys on this choice because I'm not sure what to do yet. So I show you what the options are, and I want to hear in the message down below what will you do if you were in my place. So let's go to the exchange and the artifact shop. At the moment, the only three artifacts that I have from the shops are the Hourglass, the Gatekeeper Staff, and the Witch's Remain. Now these are, in my opinion, the three that you should choose in the beginning. So you should start from the Witch's Remain, then jump to the Hourglass, and then for the third three top, the Gatekeeper Staff, which is a bit more niche, but still very, very useful and game changing. Once you're done with this three, I was not prepared really. I kind of knew what I want to do, and there are many options that can be useful for me. I could consider getting the fan, which increase a lot of attack and the damage from derivative damage. So if I have, for example, Ivelios, which I use quite a lot, it will boost his damage, but it's very niche to him. I don't have a Flora. If I had a Flora, probably I will go for this one because it will boost either Ivelios or Flora. But I don't have them. There is the Pipe Organ, which is actually quite interesting and increase the damage of your range hero. So if you use a lot of range, DPS can be useful. You put it on your highest attack and it will share the attack with the other range, increasing damage quite substantially. There is the Dragon Blast Jar, which reduces the damage you take straight out and then does some fire damage as well based on defense. Useful and niche as well, mostly useful for your tanks. But sometimes you build those tanks with accuracy, so it's kind of weird. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to use it everywhere. And then there is the fan favorite, I think. At least what I think what you guys will go for. But I want to influence your opinion. I think the one that for me stand out the most is the Solar King Ornn. It's also a bit hard because it has defense and HP. And so he's going to increase a lot the HP of a tank. But basically what he's going to do, in particular if I wear on a Furbat, is going to increase 15% the damage of my DPS when they get heals from the wearer. So if I have a healer that heals quite a lot during the fight, all the rest of the DPS is going to have basically a 15% increased damage. And I'm thinking to go to this one, but I would like to hear your opinion, and if I'm about to do something wrong, please let me know in a message down below. Now, let's get back to the subject of this video and let's jump into the boss. The boss this seasons are just named after the affinity they take more damage from. So there's no names of champions, you know, like season 1, season 2, when we're talking about Jorn, and then we need to specify what damage it's most subjected to. We just go basically for this, and we are talking about the Chaos Shadow Ice. That's going to take more damage from Ice champion. I went full Ice Blast, and I actually want to show you this one first so we can talk about the champions and what we're doing. So let's jump to here and let's have a look at the Ice Blast champion. And as you can see, I don't have any of the legendary, 3 legendaries. I have only the epics and the rare, and I'm going to use them all. I'm going to use 4 DPS in this comp, and I can use only what I have, basically. Obviously, Gertin is the best DPS. Bledin probably is up there as a second and is very close with Sedic. It depends also how you build them. I like Bleeding a lot because he has a multi-hit ultimate, but in this comp I need to sacrifice him to place the decreased defense, and so I'm relying on the other two to bring the rest of the damage, not having any of the crazy good legendary. Now, of the legendary, probably the one that you can leave out will be Zorak. But if you have Sheena and Beldel, you should definitely bring it over here. If you have choice of legendary, your Sheena should be your defense penalty applier. She has a multi-hit. She's gonna basically constantly building up the ice crystal on your champions and placing the decreased defense, and then you can go with DPS. If I had all of them, I will probably go Sheena, Beldel, Gertin, and Bleeding. Bleeding built our crit rate, so it's gonna give basically a lot of ice crystal to your best DPS, which in that case should be Beldel, and Sheena is going to basically recharge with the ice crystal for the rest of the team, and you can put it on Gertin as well, so your 2 DPS can do a lot of damage. If you have that comp, you basically are on easy mode on this boss, because it's already quite easy with just epic and rare. And we're gonna see that right now when we jump into the boss. Let me load up my Ice Blast team over here, and we can talk about the champions, the builds, the gear, and the timing that is not there. So the only aura I have available is the HP aura from Bleeding. Not doing much over here, to be honest. The boss, it's rather weak, I would say. But the main champion around which the comp is built is going to be Furba. Furba is built with the sets that the puppeteer set, so basically share part of his defense to the rest of the team. The hits are random. The boss hits randomly. It's basically almost a copy of Shinem, and the fact that you can basically hit a champion 5 or 4 times doesn't help, and so therefore it's better to have an increased defense across the board, in my opinion and from my testing. But having this champion in protection means that it's going to take a lot more damage from the hits around the field. Is going to drop low, and it doesn't have enough heal to heal back, and your run might stop quickly. So therefore I've built him with the puppeteer set. Basically going to increase the accuracy, which we need, and they receive a healing when they drop below 50%. Every champion around him, every champion is around him, so especially the melee one, gonna take some heal back, and is basically built high defense to share that defense with the others. Then now I have also 2 melee champion. They're gonna have obviously Gertin. Gertin is my best build DPS. I've gone for the Aerial set that does more crit rate and has attack and does more damage, basically increase your attack based on your crit damage. She is built quite decently. The crit rate is still not that high, but I'm using also Prince Carnage Gauntlet. It's mythical that does more damage when the decreased defense is out. This piece is not particularly nice, but I have it, so I want to use it and see how much damage was increasing, and the results are quite nice. I've used on her the Rivatrix route from the Femi Under of Season 2. If you don't have that, the best choice for her or for your main DPS is the Manticore statue, because basically what Ice Blast are doing is mostly damage from their battle skills when they have those ice crystal on, and if you have the Manticore statue, you're going to increase a lot of your damage. Now unfortunately I don't have enough in the instance of creation to level that artifact, so I'm not going to use it over here, so that shows you that there is margin of improvement. The other DPS we talk about is the other melee now. I've built him in a weird set, I'll be honest. I still don't have a lot of gear, so in particular with the runes it's kind of difficult. So I've gone for high accuracy with the slingshot. I'm trying to squeeze a bit of damage off to this champion. To be honest, if you run a Voresh instead of him placing the decreased defense, and you build Bleeding with a more DPS build, The damage, it's not much different because of the gear mostly. If you have good gear and you run these 4 champions, the damage is higher compared to using Voresh. But because I don't have that gear, the difference is not that high for now. Obviously, if you have Sheena and Beldel, the difference is going to be through the roof. So then we talk about Bladin. Bladin is built with high crit rate, and then is again same set. Is going to be my defense applier. I have Witches Remain, multi-hit. He's going to apply it almost for sure. And he has a crit rate glove, also of the same set, that does more damage when you hit someone with decreased defense. This is a bit better, but still not that good. A triple hit on a flat defense, 1 roll on attack. HP defense can give some survivability, but overall the build is not that crazy. I'm lacking a lot of crit damage over here, but I needed to hit the accuracy and have the crit rate high. And the last DPS is going to be Sadic. As you can see, I'm running the eyeball of the giant over here. Same set and an attack with decent attack chest. I'm trying to get him with some crit rate. Crit damage is not there yet. I have to use a crit rate gauntlet. So let's have a look at what the boss does. It has 2 battle skills that basically build up Ice Crystal, Radiance Crystal, sorry, on the boss. And the ultimate will hit you for 6 seconds every half a second. So it's a 12 hit, which is basically what Sheena does, but it's converted to Radiance instead of being Ice. No difference over there. The ice crystals are protected, so you can't remove them. You have to deal with them. You have to deal with the stacking increased damage from the boss, and there is nothing you can do about that. The only thing you can do is basically protecting your team and healing them back and trying to do as much damage as possible very, very quickly. The comp is pretty basic. There's no much strategy around it. You don't need to go super crazy on timing. The champions have all different recharge time. For example, Gertine is only 16 seconds, so she's going to do her ultimate very, very often. It's difficult to time the battle skills as well because it's where the damage is coming from mostly. And so I leave the champions free to go. If you want to time Furbat, and you're using the Hourglass or the Incense Burner to have his ultimate below 18 seconds, you can try to time it around the time of the ultimate, so at 17.5. So you're going to keep up with the boss and basically avoid the big hit from the boss. And that's the only thing you can do, really. Let's see if I've done it actually on my timing. Yeah, as you can see, 17.5, 18 seconds over here. That's what I was trying to do to keep up with the boss. And then the reason why I'm using the Hourglass at the moment is because obviously I can't level all artifact, but also because the extra skill haste will boost his battle skills, which generate more heals on the field and heal everything up much, much quicker. Now that's pretty much everything you need to know about this boss. The fight is back in the background, as I said. We're getting all the way up to 40 million, which is a more than respectable result to be week 1. Usually, you start quite low and you're building your damage up towards the events. We have a month to start pushing more and more damage, and then think about how to split our comp for the second phase, where we're going to have to fight the same bosses but with way more team, and we're going to aim only for the 22 million. Now, having 40 PS over here give me good hope for the second phase, because I can probably split them out and do 2 DPS and 2 DPS, or maybe even think about a similar comp with someone that can replace Furbat and someone healing, maybe decrease attack and healing for another comp and 3 DPS, and maybe bring a Frost team over there instead of splitting this one. But that is something for later on. So at the moment, we need to push for high result, and the best result you can go for is 4 DPS and Furbat. You can obviously switch to Frost. You can use Rava, you can use Usha, you can use Dritz, you can use Voresh, you can use all those good DPS that this affinity has. Push 4 of them in the comp with Furbat, and you're going to be able to get to 22 million quite easily. Put your decreased defense on your multi-hit champion, and you're going to be fine. This is everything you need to know for this boss. As you can see, they are not complicated, there's not much. to really dive into details for, so I'm gonna keep it short and sweet, and I'm gonna see you soon with another video about Dragonheir Silence God.